Our top story at the hour, 2 men were killed in a shooting incident outside the Mall of Africa in Midrand last night. The 2 deceased were approached by unknown suspects in the vehicle while they were standing at the entrance of the mall. According to reports, the suspects were driving a white VW Polo. The men died at the scene and the gunman fled the taxi rank. No arrests have been made as yet and the suspects are still at large. Police have launched investigations into the shooting. It is suspected that the killing may be related to taxi violence. 2 months ago, 3 people were shot and wounded during the violent confrontation between taxi associations. Now we're joined on the phone line by MEC for Gauteng Community Safety, Sizakele Nkosi Malobane. Good morning to you and thank you so much for chatting to us here on Vuka Africa this morning. First and foremost, is there any confirmation that the shooting was linked to taxi violence around the Mall of Africa?
We suspect so because I received a call from one of the leaders of the taxi associations indicating that one of their drivers was shot, and we believe that we also received an information that earlier there was an argument about the routes in that area, and thereafter people were then shot. That is the information we have, but we have a special team, our taxi task team, that is investigating this matter, and we hope that very soon we will be able to give you information that confirms that it is taxi-related violence, but also information that will indicate that we have arrested some of the suspects.
MEC, let's elaborate and expand on the bone of contention here, which seems to be the issue of taxi violence. How is that going to be handled going forward? And also, what is the issue here? Is it based solely on the routes and who should be taking those routes?
I think yes, it's about the routes. There are claims by both associations. So far, the associations that we know that are involved in the conflict about the route is AMSTA and ATA. Both those taxi associations originates from Alexandra. One of the taxi associations also took us to court where they indicated that we have allowed, us in court, meaning the government of Gauteng, that we have allowed an association that is not supposed to be operating in that route to operate, and they wanted the court's protection in order for them to continue operating in that route. We have since challenged that. The Department of Transport have since challenged that court ruling. There are 3 court rulings, 2 that were initiated by AMSTA, and the court finds the outcome were in favor of AMSTA. The other court challenge was initiated by ATA, but still the outcome favored AMSTA. So we really need to try and make sure. We then called the 2 associations to try and mediate and make sure that they share the routes whilst we are busy trying to sort out the court issues. And unfortunately, it seems they're not able to come closer in terms of trying to address the issues, because immediately after we had in negotiations on that particular day when they left the boardroom, both taxi associations lost leaders. One was the deputy chairperson and the other one was a deputy secretary. So unfortunately, when such things happen, people are scared to come to a meeting to mediate, because they're saying, look, we're coming to the table for negotiations and you are trying to mediate, and unfortunately our leadership is dying. So we're now scared to come and talk. So the mediation have since stopped because of that. We were hoping that by calling the taxi Indaba, some of the problems that are there, where we have invited all associations now, we will be able to crack this particular challenge. And unfortunately, this has just happened few days after the after the Indaba.
Just lastly, MEC, is there a concern that the actual Mall of Africa will suffer? Is there a concern that shoppers will be avoiding the shopping centre because of this ongoing taxi violence there? What is being done to secure the shoppers and make them feel safe there?
No, we have deployed a static unit, and that is why so far we have not lost or no ordinary member of the public have actually been being injured in that mall, and we hope that this violence will stop as soon as possible. What I will also do today, I'll have to force the two associations to come back to the table and let us talk about this thing. We have done this before, where we'll call them and ask them to come to the table, and we talk about the problems that they have, and whoever that have a right to operate in that route must operate in that route for their own sake, as well as of our commuters' sake, because that mall is very important. It just employs 3,000 people, let alone the people who visit the mall on a daily basis. So we really need to make sure that we protect everyone that is a consumer there, but also protect the workers that are working in that in that mall. So during this week, which I hope from today, I am going to request these guys that come to the table. If it means us sleep over trying to resolve this issue, I'm prepared to do that, and I'm sure MEC Vadi is also prepared to do that, because we can't afford to lose people the way we do. It doesn't matter whether the person is a taxi operator or the person is an ordinary commuter. We really need to stop this killing, because it is important. It affects families, and it also affects us directly.
Thank you so much, MEC, for your time this morning. Appreciate you chatting to us. MEC of Gauteng Community Safety, Sizakele and Nkosi Malobane, chatting to us about the ongoing taxi violence around the Mall of Africa. 2 more people were killed there last night at the Mall of Africa. A lot of concern around South Africans and whether they feel secure going to that shopping centre. The bone of contention seems to be taxi violence linked to the taxi routes in that area, but we will keep you up to date with regards to any further developments here.